I wasn't aware of the entire cast when I first heard about, obviously, when I first read the book. I was just a fan of the story and the message behind it. And then once I started to see the project develop and who was a part of it, and obviously see the characters come to life, I was really, really looking forward to having some part in it. And obviously, hopefully a part that can open people's eyes a little bit. I think it's especially resonated with a lot of this younger generation, which is, from reading a lot of what Angie has said about the inspiration behind it, was definitely who it was aimed towards. Because I think we are the future as far as voices and as far as, people that are future leaders, and we do need this time in our lives to read things that do inspire us and that do educate us and that do keep us in the know of what's going on in our world surrounding us. So I definitely think it's hit with that generation. She's such an inspirational young girl, I think, as a character, because she's definitely navigating two separate worlds. I'm more involved in her world where they call it Starr 2.0, where she's Williamson's Starr. And she's at school and she kind of has to almost put up a bit of a wall and be a different person in order to not be judged in the way that, for some reason, the world has trained our minds to judge people when they do and act a specific way. And so it's really just, obviously she goes through seeing her best friend get shot and being in that car with that white police officer and seeing that he was very innocent in every single way possible, and obviously dealing with that. And, she takes that and uses it to empower her and not to make her weak in any sort of way. And she ends up finding out who she is and who are the people in her life that she can trust. Haley was always someone in Starr's life and in Starr's Williamson world that was someone that was just a little bit more real. She wasn't fake. She definitely was to the point, and I think they always got along because of that reason. She was just who she was all the time. And then I think as they start to grow and as Starr starts to change, I don't think Haley likes it. And Haley is this kind of person that always likes to be in control. And she was sort of used to kind of being the leader of her and her friendship with Starr and with Maya. So you think as the movie progresses and as you see their friendship progress, you see it definitely starts to get harder because Haley's a little bit ignorant in a lot of ways, and she's kind of just blindsided by, the flashing lights and the fun of it all, and doesn't really realize when she's not being very sensitive. Williamson is an interesting school, and it's such an interesting part of the story as it does show the dichotomy between who Starr is in her home life and who she is in her school life. And the students around school and the interaction that she has, it's very clean. It's very squeaky clean, and it's a lot of kids that are not, they're a lot like Haley in a lot of ways. They're kind of in their own world. They're kind of just, a little bit careless in a lot of situations, which is good and bad. But I think in this story, it's not very good. There's one side that sees Khalil as not innocent, and they see it as, well, he was probably, he was probably headed down a bad path anyways, and he was probably got himself into trouble, and because they weren't there, they didn't witness the situation, so they only hear what the media feeds to them, what the media wants them to see. And then there's this side of it that knows what that's like in everyday life because they go through that, because they were born into a certain family, into a specific neighborhood, and they have to deal with that. And it's the two different sides that are very interesting, and it's what this story is all about. It's showing, the point of view where it comes from, where Khalil is coming from, where Starr is coming from, and that point of view, and kind of helping the other audience see that in a way that we don't have to deal with ourselves in our everyday life because of how we were raised in the families that we were born in. I think it opens Starr's eyes a lot, because I think before, things that Haley would say and things that Haley would do and sort of how Haley would brush things off didn't used to bother Starr, because Starr just used to try to fit in. Starr would kind of just push everything down. She would just push down her feelings, push down any way that she felt that was different, so people wouldn't see her as the angry black girl or label her as the angry black girl. And so I think when she experiences this in such a personal way, and Haley's acting the way that Haley always has, but Starr's kind of been blind to it before, she starts to see that Haley is not acting the way that a friend should, and not acting in a way that she wants someone in her life to act. Starr finds her voice because she has to. She kind of has to use this time to speak up for Khalil because she was the witness. She was the only one there. She was the only one that really knows how innocent that he was, is. And so I think that she definitely, and as she should be, is angry at the fact that people are asking the wrong questions, and they're asking the wrong questions to the wrong people. A lot of the times when you're young and you're an actress, you see other girls as like competition, and she was always someone that I just admired, and I was just like, I love how natural she is and effortless she plays her characters. So I was really, really excited to be able to play alongside her. I think so much of the time, even when he's not talking to me or giving me specific direction, I just want to watch him and learn from him, because he really does have a motive behind every single thing that he does. I think the most interesting process for him, at least in my perspective, was the rehearsal process. I've never seen a director take the time to like really get us to understand where our characters are coming from. He would give us exercises and different things that just, I would feel so happy about afterwards because I would just understand what I was doing so much more. And I think for a script like this and for a story like this, you need to understand your motives behind everything. We're lucky if we can use, the entertainment industry, which is usually a lot of fiction and fairy tale and make-believe, to kind of distract us from our problems. And in this, we're able to nail our problems right on the head and have people face them with a question of you either understand it or you don't. And we hope that a lot of people will understand it. We hope that they do take home this message, and we hope that it does open the conversation to change, and understanding and love and kindness and acceptance. So I definitely think that's what it's supposed to do. We're not making it for fun. We are, it's really fun, but I definitely think there's a purpose behind it. I think when Angie wrote the book, she had that purpose behind it as well, and we're bringing it to life.